Hello everyone, this is a Wake the Fuck Up short. It's nighttime, 9:24:25, and got home, started going through the news, and apparently another leftist decided to shoot a couple people. What a shock. And this is after the left media networks have been screaming and screeching about toning down the rhetoric, while at the same time blaming the right wing for everything and themselves nothing. What a shock. And so at an ICE detention facility, 2 deportees were apparently shot with an anti-ICE set of cartridges left on the ground for them to be seen. I'm going to say something that probably will get a lot of dislikes, but at the same time, it's a hunch. I think the Democratic Party is working for the Chinese government at this point. I'm going to let you simmer on that for a second, because here's the reason why I think that. You have a number of Democrats who are openly committed to corruption. Nancy Pelosi with insider trading, Eric Swalwell with... look his history up. And it seems like the Democratic Party is openly advocating for violence against the right. They have been for years. So the idea that the Democrats would get into bed with China, especially Governor Plastic Man, a.k.a. Newsom, rolling out the red carpet for the Chinese leadership, cleaning up the streets for a few minutes so that way when he comes through, everything looks nice and great, And this is the same country that hates us and vilifies us and, probably is playing similar games with us that we used to play with other countries. Spring Revolution, foment dissent, get the country to overthrow itself, and then install a new puppet regime. This has happened with our government for a lot of decades. And for it to be tried on us, probably not shocking. And the real reason why I think the Democratic Party is in bed with China is because they seem to present way too many puppets to the leadership, to be leadership in their own party and their own group. The message is very unified in that right-wing evil, left-wing awesome, and they seem to want to cozy up to China, to communism, socialism. They have no problems with socialism. They seem to have no problems with communism other than the word itself being presented to the American people as if they are associated with it. And the authoritarianism is just, it's beautiful. Let's take away all the guns, because the left has made it clear they're wannabe gun grabbers. They don't want you to have any guns whatsoever. If they do, it's got to be approved by the state. Okay? Now, do I think China wants to overthrow us? Of course. This is a world with a lot of differing ideas and opinions, and states and governments. And of course, if you want to take over the world, who do you want to go after? Number one. Who's number one? The U.S. We've got the military might, we've got the military capability, but our society is in decline. We've become fat, lazy, inauthentic, undisciplined, mentally childlike in our society, and it's been encouraged and fostered by Democrats. Soft society. Look at welfare. Welfare has destroyed the American family. It has made government a substitute husband. But we don't have money anymore. We're 40 trillion in the hole. So our economy is literally on a ticking time bomb. And if you're part of the world that is buying up our debt, so that way we can continue to go further and further into debt, well, between the bankers in the Federal Reserve and the Chinese government, they got a lot of that debt, don't they? Do I think there are strings between the Democrat Party and the Chinese government? Yeah. Yeah. You know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Well, the Republican Party and independent type people who want to defend themselves from authoritarian and tyrannical regimes, those are the enemy of communists and socialists. You don't want free-thinking people who can defend themselves against problematic politicians and bureaucrats. And, you know, China obviously took away most of the guns from its peasantry, so they are not going to be able to defend themselves when the military comes in and runs them over. And let's not forget, what did China do back in the 80s to those people who stood up and said, we're done with this communist crap? They ran them over. They killed them. They didn't listen to them. They didn't take suggestions. They killed them. Do you get it? You know, what happens with communist governments? They kill those who speak out. They persecute those who underlyingly speak out, who might be a problem. What would a communist government in this country do? It would go after every person who has a thought that's independent of what the state tells them. Well, right now, who is the state media in this country? ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, they all parrot the exact same message. Messages, you know. Guns are evil, men are evil, women are awesome. You know, the state should have your kids. The state should teach your kids. There should be no independent schools whatsoever, no charter schools. The universities are awesome. They're great. They're leftist ideological indoctrination centers. What do you call universities in China? The same. You're a member of the Communist Party, therefore you must think like a member of the Communist Party. What do most of these universities do? They teach you to think like a leftist. Killing your opposition is okay. Punch your opposition. It's okay. Beat up, assault your opposition. It's okay. Who do the police protect when these things happen? Antifa. Who did the media protect when cities were burning and riots were happening? Antifa. They projected them as the awesome people. They're not doing anything wrong. They're peaceful protesters. If you wanted to overthrow a country, you overthrow it from within. Hey, remember Captain America, Winter Soldier, everybody? What was the plot? Tear the group up from within. What's happening in this country? We're tearing each other apart from within. And who are the main protagonists for this tearing America apart? The Democrats. Their friends in the media. And who all did they put into bureaucratic positions of power? A lot of leftists, right? Judges, leftists. Whose agendas are they supporting? Whose agendas are they paying attention to, taking orders from? Leftists. You know, we're not going to allow immigrants who are here illegally to be detained and sent back. So they're advocating for open borders, which is an easy way to bring in a lot of people without any vetting, without any law enforcement stopping it because, of course, they're doing the bidding of the leftists. And if you've heard Democrats talk about why we need illegals, it's always poor labor, low-wage labor. We need them to do all of the things that white people don't want to do. That's cute. So literally, they are advocating for the destruction of this country through any means necessary. And yet the Democrats blame everything on the right, all the problems. And I said this in my freedom of speech bit the other day. Look at what you're making us do. That's the attitude that these leftists have. Look at what you're making us do. We're not responsible for anything. It's all your fault. It's you right-wing bastards who are making us go out and kill people with your ideas and your talking and your speaking and your believing and you being out there pushing on your side of the agenda. You need to shut up because we'll just keep getting violent until you stop. Look at what you're making us do. So again, do I think the Democratic Party takes orders from Beijing? Yes, I do. I kind of believe it at this point. You can't be this committed to destruction without somebody pulling strings. Because nobody's going to advocate for destruction if there's nothing left for them to scoop up and make their own and increase their power. Which, how many Democrats and even Republicans have been doing this? There's a politician in California a number of years ago who pushed for gun confiscation and making guns illegal. He was caught making money off of that. Laundering money, right? I'm really, it's a hunch. I could be wrong. But at this point, it's pretty fucking obvious that the Democrat Party does not have America's best interests at heart, and they are sure as hell working overtime to make everyone in their media fan zone scream right-wingers evil. They're setting us up. No, that means you're setting us up. You're projecting. And if you're the Democrat Party and you're doing this and you are taking orders from China, it means you're treasonous. It means you've sold us out. And there really needs to be investigations so we can figure out if that is the case. It'd be a great idea. Don't trust politicians, don't trust bureaucrats, but definitely don't trust people who are definitely aligned against this country and want to tear it apart. Have a good one.